Hi, this is Heather with Women Own Wheels. This is my top 5 review for the 2019 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited Rubicon JL. Now this particular model retails for around $55,000. So let's get started. We're going to be covering styling, safety, technology, storage, and handling. Let's go. Number 1, let's cover styling. This Jeep is extremely sporty. As we're going to look on the front end here, this has some details of lights in the bumper. It actually has the red tow hooks as well, and that's to help pull a friend out of a tough situation. I want to point out the grille here. It has a nice curvature to it, and that's part of the JL. As you recognize with any older regular model Jeeps, they've actually got the straight grille. This actually does have a little curve in it, and then it also has the LED headlights. They did move the blinkers into the fenders. As we come across here, it's got nice hood vents that give it some detail. The Rubicon wording on the hood in the black and red looks really good. Coming down here, we've got an additional vent right here that actually brings air to the engine. We have notations here and in the black and red there with the Rubicon trim that just makes it pop. I want to point out the large fender wells we have here. It's got plenty of clearance. So as you're climbing those rocks, going off-road, you've got enough clearance for your tires and allows you to put in some meatier ones. Another thing to point down here is the really awesome wheel with the little Jeep emblem. It's so cute. All right, we're gonna go down the vehicle. I like how they add a little line right through here just to give it some dimension. All the way to the back end of the vehicle as normal. We usually have the spare on the back of the Jeep, and you have another little tow hook right here. Now, I want to take you inside. I really love the seats. The black leather trimmed and the red stitching, and of course the stitching of the Rubicon across the driver and passenger seat. You can see they've added that touch of red across the dash, as well as the stitching on top and in the door panels. Another thing about this I want to show you just kind of from the driver's area is everything is very accessible and clean. It does have the traditional flat dash of a Jeep, but they did soup it up some. I want to show you the back seat. I found very ample leg room. And then, of course, the continuation of the stitching in both the door panels and the seats. And then you do have storage behind the second row. Now, an important factor, one of my big wow items for this vehicle, I'm going to go ahead and climb in, is the Sky One Touch Power Top. Now, you know on Jeeps you can get a hard top, you can get a bikini top, but the new models offer this option, which I think makes it a game changer. So let's take a look. Right above your rear view mirror, you have a button that automatically opens the roof. And I don't know if you can see above there how it folds upon the back. No extra storage for your roof, guys. And it gives a full sky view for both the front row and the back row. Now, why is this so amazing? Because if you had a hard shell, you had to keep that, take it off the Jeep and leave it at home. If you had a bikini top, it only covers the front and not the back seat, or vice versa. It doesn't really give full coverage. But having this option, you can be out on the town, open top, enjoying the breeze, and then all of a sudden run across a rain shower. Well, you can actually just slow down or pull over and do the electric close up here, and you are fine. It's not running back home. It's not trying to find cover somewhere. I think it's amazing. So big wow right there on the power roof. Number 2 is safety. Now Jeep does offer standard front and side airbags as well as standard backup camera, but there are a bunch of available options that you can get here. First of all being the available full speed frontal collision warning with active braking. This one in particular has the adaptive cruise, which as y'all know is one of my favorites and can't live without. We have the rear park assist. We have blind spot monitoring, which you can see right here. in your mirror, and it also gives you a ding ding. It cuts into the radio ding ding just to make sure that you didn't miss moving over another vehicle there. Also, it has trailer sway control, and what that is, it applies brake pressure to alternating wheels and adjusts the engine throttle to help maintain the vehicle and trailer stability. So going up and down hills or around curves, it's maintaining it with that control option, and that pretty much covers up safety. Number 3 is technology. Let me show you what this Jeep has. I enjoyed using the touchscreen here in the dash. It's very clean and simple to read. Along the bottom, you've got the menu. So of course we have radio, media, where you can attach different items. Backup camera is very clear. You've got apps, and just one thing to point out is the Wi-Fi connection. It's got a Wi-Fi hotspot, which allows up to 8 devices and within a 50-foot radius of the vehicle. Controls, this vehicle itself has the heated seat and heated steering wheel. Those are also controlled down here. And you've got navigation. A note that I did notice on navigation was that you can actually download an app to your vehicle for Jeep and put in locations, and then it goes directly to your vehicle. Thought that was pretty cool. And then phone, I had no issues connecting my phone to the vehicle and being able to use it. It was very clear. I even had the top open for a few phone calls and was able to talk and hear them clearly, which was very nice. Going down, we have, I love these rugged knobs. You have some more controls. Further down, these are your power windows. Now that took a little getting used to because I am used to them being in the door. So, but there is a reason for that. Jeeps, of course, you can take off the doors. And to do that, you have to disconnect some things. So any more wiring, or actually any less wiring you can attach, is the better. So that's why they have the windows actually in here. Got some power outlets. The auxiliary options right here, those are if you want to add any extras to your Jeep. So say if you wanted to put a row of headlight, a row of lights on the top of your Jeep, you can actually run those, of course, under the hood, but it'll like plug in and be an auxiliary port here where you can actually turn them on here, which is a nice option. Sway bar, just to go over, it actually, when you're going off-road on an adventure and you're climbing up maybe a hill or certain terrain, you want the wheels in the front. You disconnect here the sway bar in the front, allowing your wheels to be able to drop and be on the ground, because you want that stability control and to be level for your vehicle as far as the weight. So that helps disconnect the sway bar to drop the wheels, or allows them to go up into the vehicle for better handling. Right here we have, and here is where you control your 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive on this vehicle. Moving over here, again, nice clean lines you have in front of you. Steering wheel has a lot of different options. This right here is where you're able to change the different options up here that you're seeing in the menu in front of you. This right here allows you to make phone calls, so you can call and hang up. This particular Jeep does have the Apple CarPlay and the Android Auto. And this button right here, if you have an Apple, you click it and you're able to talk to Siri, which I thought was kind of cool. Over here is the adaptive cruise I talked about earlier, and regular cruise. The steering wheel also has, if you flip around here, there's controls on the back on both sides. That allows you to control what media you're listening to, allows you to change channels and do the volume. That was very nice. You got to keep your hands on the wheel and change your radio stations and take care of anything you needed to in that aspect. One other thing to show you is this car does have Alpine speakers, and you've got 2 up front. You've got 2 right here in the center of the vehicle, and you have a subwoofer in the back. Perfect for jamming out when you have the roof open into your favorite 80s song. Well, unless you're a youngin', then it might be 90s or 2000s, but to whatever music genre that you like. That pretty much covers our technology. Number 4 is storage. Let's look at what this Jeep has to offer. In all 4 of the doors, on the bottom part, they have a nice netting to hold things. I found it very helpful to hold a bag that I keep some small accessories in. As we move into the Jeep, on the dash, at the very top, we have a tray here. I found it helpful to hold the key, my sunglasses, anything small you might want to keep up front. Does offer a glove box. It's narrow but quite deep. Between the driver and passenger, we have 2 cup holders here and a little slot that I found helpful to hold my phone. There's another small tray under the emergency brake. The center console offers 2 compartments. There's a small compartment up here that's easy to hold pens, name tags, proof of insurance, so anything that you would need to quickly get to. And then there's the bigger compartment on the bottom, and it is really deep. It did hold my clutch though, so I had a place for my purse here. And then you do get a power outlet. Let's move along to the back. Now there is an interesting aspect they have here at Jeep. If you notice along the driver and passenger seats, there's some kind of weave going on. Well, what it is, it's a grid pattern that they have, and it's very tactical. It is reminiscent of the Army backpacks and different gear that you can attach to it. So you can buy different accessories. This is one, it's a water bottle holder, and you weave it through the bottom here, and that's how it attaches. And then this one is adjustable for different water bottles. You have that here. This particular one has 2 more water bottle holders on this side, but I did find that you could find a first aid kit they had where it can weave through here. There's a different options for a flashlight holder and another little square kind of fold over storage unit that you could attach through there. So there's some different options. You kind of customize it. And then you do have a small netting here too. A few trays right on bottom here. And if you do pull this between the seats, you do get the 2 cup holders here, which is nice, and a nice armrest to boot. Now, let's go ahead and head to the back. We have the tailgate, which is very easy, not heavy, not too awkward to open. And then you open the glass. We've got quite a bit of room back here. And if you actually pull this up, we have storage underneath. So this is a perfect place for, like we see here, tie downs, gloves, some additional tools that you might need. This is a neat item. Now this is a Jeep, so you can take the doors off. And if you do that, where do you put the door hinges? Where do you put all the bolts? Where do you put different kind of things? If you take the windshield can actually fold down and has 4 bolts, which by the way, in previous models, they had up to 28 bolts to take the windshield and lay it down. So they've got little pockets right in here for all those bolts that go to those things. I think that's a great option, so you're not losing any pieces. So if you went out, had an adventure, wanted to take off the doors while you're out there, you're able to go ahead and store these options right here. I do like that a lot. You also have these that you're able to easily tie down something in the back. And that pretty much covers our storage here. Okay, last but not least is handling. I thoroughly enjoyed driving this Jeep and living the Jeep life. Now, I want to tell you, though, it is a lifestyle. And what I mean by that is, and how you dress and what you do for a living does come into play when you drive a Jeep. For instance, I work in marketing. I typically wear a dress, and like a pencil dress. That would not happen getting in and out of this vehicle every day. I had to change and wear pants on the day that I had it. Not that it's a bad thing, but just something to consider. The real way to go is a tank top and some blue jean cutoffs. Perfect Jeep wear. Another thing that I actually was told and realized pretty quickly is you're going to need a hat. You get the Jeep hair. It gets kind of crazy. I even tried to just do a ponytail, but then you get all the flyaways, and let me tell you, you look kind of funny. So a Jeep cap is going to be a requirement. Now, to get along with some of the driving, the steering wheel is nice and tight when you're in low speeds, driving, parking, making a U-turn. Very nice and tight. When you do speed up around 55 or more, it does get a little loose, gets a little play in the steering wheel, so it's just something to be aware of, as some of us are used to driving SUVs or a sedan that maybe has a little tighter in the steering. Another thing to point out was I was really expecting there to be a lot of road noise and wind noise. I mean, I'm thinking it's a Jeep. I'm going to hear all that. Now, granted, there was wind noise and road noise, but not to the degree I was expecting. So I was really impressed that it was actually much better in the cabin than I thought as far as noise. Another thing with that is as I was driving too, you're in parking lots, you're going over speed bumps. I did take it through a ditch and a little bit of some dirt roads. And in the case that I thought it would be very rigid and jittery, I didn't find that. I actually found it to be very fluid. A good way of putting it is you kind of got rocked just a little bit, but in a smooth way. It wasn't jostling around where I felt it was really rough. So that was a plus for me too. Another thing on the handling, just one last thing to say, I really enjoyed it. If you're looking for a sporty run around town or your daily driver, if your lifestyle works for that, then this is the way to go. I loved putting the top down, blaring up some radio. I felt like a teenager. Oh my gosh, I had so much fun. Although my kids would probably disagree with me and say I didn't look so cool, but I thought I was cool. So thank you so much for following and checking this out. I'm at Women Own Wheels, Facebook, Instagram. Subscribe to my YouTube channel at Women Own Wheels, and I hope to see you soon.